Give us the big finale, Raichu!
Hello and welcome everyone back to the channel. My name is Garrett, aka Sauce, and I am the coach of the Kalamazoo Raichu in ARC's Pokemon Draft League Season 13, which is a Pokemon Draft League that myself and other friends play in, and honestly it's a really good time. So this season, of course, is National Dex RU. So, you know, a lot of the lower tiered Pokemon getting some love. And we're here for week 2 against our good friend Josh, aka Jkkay, coach of the St. Paul Steelix. Now, this game is a pretty fun one to go over. Did not do a live commentary as I did stream the game at the time. So this is more of a post replay recap type video just to have on the channel, get that going and do a nice solid recap of things. So St. Paul Steelix, going over them. They got some spooky threats over there, but the main thing is that we had to absolutely abuse the speed tiers, as well as a few Pokemon we got to bring out for the first time this season. You know, second game, get to try out a few new things, and you know, I'm excited to try all of it. So without further ado, let's just head on over to the team builder. Hello and welcome everybody to the team builder portion of the video. Not gonna do a separate unlisted video as I'm gonna make you all sit through this and watch. All right, no, I was kidding, but figured that we're just gonna speed through this quick, get you a quick synopsis of the team. Saves me from making an extra video, and you know what, maybe y'all can learn something or can point out absolute flaws in my strategy. But for now, we have our first Pokemon that we're bringing, which is Minior. Now, running a interesting set. Instead of your traditional shell smash with 3 attacks, we're running dual screens. So we have the Light Clay, Reflect, Light Screen. Figure that this could be a nice utility Pokemon to help set up some of our other threats. To round out the attacks, we have Rock Slide for potential flinch chances, as we are very fast, and U-Turn for that nice pivot. So because of this, his max speed on his Pokemon, the fastest threats are Mienshao and Manectric at base 105. So we've tiered our speed just to outspeed those Pokemon if they're not scarfed. Everything else is put into HP, a little bit into special defense to live a Thunderbolt from, or a Volt Switch rather, one of those 2 moves from either Manectric or a non-analytic boosted Magneton. And then finally, everything else is just sprinkled into attack just to help with the chip damage of Rock Slide and U-Turn. So that is our first Pokemon in Minior. And to follow up Minior is our boy Bruxish. Now, Bruxish is coming in with a choice band this week. Strong Jaw is the ability. We're going for that max damage as we're bringing Psychic Fangs to deal with screens. Great stab. Wave Crash, again, not too much on his team that resists it. Aqua Jet as well for that great priority in case we do get outsped by, you know, Manectric, things like that, as we are not adamant. We are timid, but we're still like slower than those. And then finally, Poison Fang gets boosted by Strong Jaw, has a 50% to badly poison, and it's our main answer to Tapu Bulu, which if he does switch that in, the Grass Fairy dual typing of that Pokemon will get obliterated by Poison Fang. So nothing too crazy here, just max attack, max speed, and yeah, that's Bruxish. Third up is CINCCINO. Now, I love this Pokemon to death. Ever since it got its buffs in Gen 9, this thing is an absolute monster, and I can't wait for you to see how it does if you haven't already. Loaded Dice is the item. As why would you need Skill Link if you have this as an item? Because now we can use Technician, which further boosts these moves. We have Tidy Up to clean up hazards that we do not appreciate, as well as giving us +1 attack and speed. And then finally, Tail Slap, Rock Blast, and Bullet Seed, all souped up with Loaded Dice, does great damage across the majority of his team. This just a no-brainer set. We got max attack, speed, again, creeped out just to outspeed and non-choiced Manectric and Mienshao. and we're going from there. So that is CINCCINO. So next up is our Raichu with a choice scarf. This is our main speed answer, as we want to make sure we can outspeed anything that he decides to scarf. So we have Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Aura Sphere, and Scald. So the 4 moves here deal some decent coverage to his team, and we were able to put the remainder of our unneeded speed EVs that we would need normally and make ourselves a little bit bulkier so we can maybe tank some hits from Manectric or Magneton. After Raichu is Chandelure. We're running choice specs, so we got 2 choice Pokemon, 3 choice Pokemon. We got the specs, the scarf, and the band. So going for that trifecta. We have Flash Fire on this in case we want to swap in, get a nice boost from the Flareon, or if he wants to run any other type of fire attacks, which is great. The combination of Flamethrower, Energy Ball, and Hex deals wonders to his team. We have the Hex there in tandem with our next Pokemon. Spoilers, it's Overquill. Just, you know, to really abuse anyone that is status, to get that extra damage boost. And then finally, Trick is there to, you know, really hinder one of his Pokemon, as he doesn't have too many special attackers aside from Magneton and Manectric, things like that. So figured that it could be a decent bring that he would not expect. So this is a pseudo bulky speed EV'd Chandelure, as you know, we outspeed certain things, but we didn't need to pump everything into special attack. And especially if we do end up, say, tricking ourselves to leftovers, we made our HP rounded to that perfect recovery number. Finally, for our last Pokemon of the team, we have Overquill. We're running an Intimidate Black Sludge set, and we're just going for hazards. Toxic Spikes, Barb Barrage for that added poison chance as well as damage, and finally Crunch, dealing some decent neutral damage across his team. And, you know, we could fish for that defense drop, hoping to maybe help set up kills for our CINCCINO and or Bruxish if we need. So we got max HP-ish, defense-ish, and special defense-ish. Just a bulky boy. I want to lead this, hopefully. If not, lead Raichu. So that is the strat. So overall, this is the team. Feeling pretty decent with it. And I am excited to get to the game, which we will hop into now. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so we are here for the game, week 2's game of APDL. We got ourselves faced up against Jkkay, and yeah, this game's pretty fun here. So we're gonna go over the replay and just kind of dive into a little bit of the nuance of the game as it happens. So let's dive right in. Let's do it. So looking at his team, he's got both Magneton and the Manectric. I was last minute thinking about bringing Piloswine as some sort of answer to these. Probably should have instead of Chandelure, but all good. So I'm thinking, you know, looking at his team, we could probably just start with Raichu, as he has a pretty slow squad. And so we could just go from there. We're going to Volt Switch here, as, you know, he has no ground type besides Sand Slash. So if he wants to switch, that's sick. If not, whatever. But we've just figured that going into an Intimidate Mon would be the best play. Get that minus attack drop. He does get knockoff, which is very annoying. But, you know, it is what it is. He gets the crit. All good. He swaps. I know he's going to swap since he doesn't want it to die. So I double swap into Chandelure. He does not want his Magneton taking any damage, which rightly so, and so I just go for the safe Flamethrower. We are choice specs, so again, doing decent damage. And this is the play where, I mean, he does get a crit. I don't think it matters, but I wanted to read around this as, you know, we have Overquill, we have Chandelure, and we have Raichu on the squad. All 3 of them are super weak to ground. I was figuring that a Earthquake is coming out, so I tried to make a super sweet read ended up getting absolutely punished. So Starboy just goes down. Not really sure what to do. But he does get the recoil, which is awesome. So at this percentage, I don't know if he's Sap Sipper or not. So I can't go Bullet Seed, but I figured that going into CINCCINO is the best play. So going into CINCCINO, he swaps out into Mienshao. Now, it's only 5% difference in terms of accuracy, the Rock Blast and Tail Slap, but I really want it to be safe. I probably should have just went for Tail Slap, because if I did, this thing would have died and it would have made the game and maneuvering around everything way easier. So I cannot eat a Choice Scarf to close combat. He knows that, makes a really good play, U-turns into Magneton. So my only answer to this is Raichu, as it resists it. He Terra Electrics, gets that bonus damage as he eats a Scald. Unfortunately, does get burned, but already 44% health. Like, we're pretty spadef tanky, but still, like, not a fan of this damage that's like being outputted right now by a Magneton. This thing is a menace and it needs to go. So I want to preserve my speed, as he still has the Choice Scarfed Mienshao in, which, you know, he does bring out. Unfortunately, the Volt Switch does so much damage. I thought I was dead for sure to a knockoff, so I'm just thinking I'm just going to stay in, but he goes for U-turn, which was so interesting. I guess he thought that I was going to switch and he wanted to get that extra jump on initiative, but I think at this point, like, I'm not going to switch and make anything else take damage or get their item knocked up. Like, I could have gone into Overquill, but I didn't want to repeat that same swap cycle. So he does go into Bouffalant, and it's forced to just take a Flamethrower, which is awesome. Not going to do anything with the Manectric coming out. T-Bolt comes, and now time for the CINCCINO. The CINCCINO is, you know, I'm thinking he's not going to run. Like, if he does run Choice Specs, I don't think I die, but I just decided here is a good time to Tail Slap. Wow, I thought I was going to set up there, to be honest, but it looks like I am. That's right. So looking at CINCCINO, we are technically faster than the Manectric, unless it was Scarfed. And if he was Scarfed, we weren't going to be able to die to that amount of damage output, so we just go for the Tail Slap. Now, again, we're not going to be tanking any close combats, as that's not part of the game plan. So we go straight into our Overquill. We're going to double swap. He does commit to the second close combat, and we're fine with this because our Bruxish can now just soak that. Wave Crash does a considerable amount of damage, assuming this thing is Eviolite, but still, really, really stoked that that works as the burn chips him down. Mienshao comes back out again. This Pokemon I hate, and we're just going to go into our dedicated swap in of Overquill, as, you know, that attack drop is so nice, and if he does want to swap with U-turn, we're going to take next to no damage. So we're staying in, and we're just going to Barbarage Mienshao, but he does swap into Sandslash. We luckily get the poison, which is massive, and we're just going to stay in and let Sandslash take us out. So we now can go into CINCCINO. We can get ourselves up a Tidy Up, as we know we're not going to die to anything, as he does reveal leftovers, so we know that's a for sure thing. We can now get off our Bullet Seed, which will easily clean up that. We go for Bullet Seed again, as we do not want to miss, and we know with our +1 attack, we are able to clean up any Choice Scarf variant of Mienshao. And in comes Flareon. We're going to complete the sweep. We're just going to Rock Blast. And we miss. So the game becomes a little more complicated. We could have left with a 3-0, but instead we got to play this ultra safe now. We go into our Choice Scarf. We just get the chip damage, and he cleans up another kill as we go for the safe Aqua Jet. Could have gone for Wave Crash, honestly, as at that point, if he was Scarfed, he probably would not have killed. But again, it is what it is, and we win the battle. Woo, that was a quick one, but a good one. And honestly, Jkkay, hope you have a super excellent rest of your season, Josh. Always a super amazing time playing against you. Always sweaty, always fun, always a pleasure. So yeah, we go off 2-0 start season. Bruxish putting in the heat. CINCCINO popping off. Feels pretty good this one. GG's, Josh. That was so much fun. Super close game. My goodness. When Rock Blast missed, I was not too happy. I was thinking that could have been the beginning of the end, as I had no idea what was in store with that Flareon. And of course, the absolute reads with the Bouffalant doing, just putting in so much work physically. And that Magneton and Mienshao combo, that pivot, was just so hard to deal with. But overall, a very close game, and I hope you have much success with the rest of your season. But for us, that now puts us at 2-0, which feels amazing. We are, you know, gliding through this first start of the season, which is nice, because, you know, a few other times it's been a little bit of a struggle bus trying to get things going, but I feel as though we've drafted ourselves a pretty decent team that we can work around with. So that being said, our week 3 opponent is none other than measly Peyton, coach of the Sutopolis City Sceptiles, which he is also 2-0 this season, as no one's really been able to put a dent in his spooky, scary team consisting of things like Bastiodon, Flapple, all of the just demons that, you know, given the option to terrestrialize in this tier of Pokemon, can absolutely run away with the game. So that is going to be a game that I'm looking forward to, and I hope you all are too. So with that, we will be seeing Peyton in our next showdown, which you can catch right here on the channel for the next upload. So yes, thank you so much again for sticking around, watching, and supporting me. Please feel free to leave a like and a comment if you will, and also feel free to subscribe. Coming out with a lot of Draft League content, mainly ARC's Pokemon Draft League and the TPL, Tavern Premier League, which we are also still in. So things are going good. Anyways, I've rambled way too long enough. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Go Raichu! Peace, guys.